Hi, my name is Dinti Condino and today I will talking about the taxation system of United States and Japan. Both countries have developed unique ways to collect taxes, which are important for funding public service like education, healthcare, and infrastructure. While the US tax system is a mixed federal state and local taxes, Japan's system is more centralized and controlled mainly by the national government. In this presentation, I'll give you a brief overview of how each system works and how their stories have shaped the way they collect taxes today. In the United States, taxation has changed a lot over time. In the early years, the federal government mostly relied on tariffs and small taxes on goods, not income taxes. The changes in 1913 when the 16th Amendment allowed the federal government to collect income tax directly from individuals. This marked the start of the modern US tax system. Example, United States. In the early days, the US got money mainly from tariffs, taxes on imported goods. In 1913, the 16th Amendment allowed the government to collect income tax. Today, the US has a federal system, which means taxes are imposed by different levels of government. The federal government collects taxes like income tax, corporate tax, and payroll tax. State and local governments can also collect income tax, property tax, and sales tax. This makes US tax system more complex, but it also gives more power to state government. Example, Japan. Before World War II, Japan taxes mostly land farming. In 1949, American experts helped Japan modernize its tax system. In Japan, the taxation system used to be very different before World War II taxes were mostly based on land and agriculture, and the system was controlled by the central government under a more federal-style structure. Example, in the US, if you earn money, you might pay federal income tax and state income tax like in California. Unlike the US-Japan system is more centralized, meaning most taxes are imposed and collected by the national government, which then distribute money to local government. In Japan, your income tax mostly goes to the national government, not the local one. Although the American and Japanese taxation system were designed for their own countries, they have had a significant impact on the Philippines due to historical and economic relationships. There are two definitions of influence on the Philippines. First, the positive effects. The American tax system influenced the Philippines during the US colonized period. This helped introduce modern tax concepts like income tax and property tax, which laid the groundwork for the Philippines' own tax laws today. The focus of progress taxation, where higher earners pay more, support social programs and infrastructure development in the Philippines. Example, from the US, the Philippines learned about income tax and property tax during American rule. From Japan, Japanese implemented tax reforms after the war give ideas for improving tax collection. On the negative side, both systems can be complex, and when applied or adopted in the Philippines, this complexity sometimes leads to confusion and challenges for taxpayers. Compliance can be difficult for small business and ordinary citizens, which may discourage tax payment and increase tax evasion. Also, the centralization seen in Japan's system can limit local government's funds if not balance both national and local revenues. Example of negative effects. Tax system from both countries are sometimes too complex. In the Philippines, this can lead to confused non-compliance or tax evasion. Japan's centralized system can lead to local governments having less funding, also a problem in the Philippines. In terms of governance, taxation is cultural for building a strong government, reliable tax revenues, allow governments to provide public service, invest in infrastructure, and reduce poverty. Both the American and Japanese models emphasize fairness and efficiently, which the Philippines continues to strive for in its own taxes reforms. However, the success depends particularly on transparency, taxpayer trust, and effective enforcement. Example, a small business in the Philippines might struggle to understand multiple tax rules, just like small business in the US can get confused by both federal and state taxes. Looking back at the history of taxation in the United States and Japan, help is understand how important tax systems are is shaping a country's development. In past, taxes were often simple and focused on basic things like land or goods, but societies grew more complex to did taxation. Example, taxation system have evolved from simple taxes like land to more fair and modern ones like income. Both the US and Japan use progressive taxation. Rich people pay more, and good tax system helps a country grow funding, school, hospital, roads. Today, both countries have modern systems that aim to be fairer and more efficient, like taxing income and business instead of just property, or supporting larger governments and more public service such as education, healthcare, and infrastructure. Important lesson, taxation system must change society. If they become outdated, they need to be reformed to stay fair and effective. Example, just like Japan reformed its taxes World War II, the Philippines can continue to update its tax system to reduce inequality and improve services.